Okay, so a very good evening to all of us. We are back on Zoom today. I would have loved our guest to be a surprise, but unfortunately, you are seeing her right beside me. So for those of you who have always been with us, I say a very big thank you for joining in again. For those of you who are new on the platform, all I want to tell you is that you are not at the wrong place, but then you are at the right place. So just relax and enjoy what we have for you tonight. I want to see Bishop as usual is with us. I have seen Mama Angie. Mama Angie, you are welcome. You are welcome. Thank you for always being there for us. I
Thank
think
you.
Bishop, I can
Yeah,
see
once.
Bishop, but I want to believe once Mama Angie is here, Bishop is here as well.
Oh,
So
you
Mama
can be
Angie
sure
and
of
Bishop,
that.
you are welcome.
Thank
Thank
It's
you.
you.
always an honor. It gives me that vim when I see you two supporting us.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Did you hear
So
that?
Thank you.
tonight we have our ever beautiful Mama May,
Okay.
ever smiling Mama May. We want to know the reason behind the smiles. We want to know how the journey has been for Mama May. You know, like we always, like we all know, behind the smiles are always issues that people are battling. But their ability to come up or come out still smiling is what makes them conquerors. I think that's enough quotes for tonight. So my idea now. All right, so actually, I didn't mean to say that as my quote, but once I have said that, I think it will settle down well. But then there's something I want to talk about as our quote for this evening. In the big house, in our father's house, today's message was about how to become great by Pastor Enoch Jah. And he made mention of something that you mentioned right when we were having our chat um, behind the doors. You made mention of developing a close relationship with God. It was one of the things he made mention today. And I think if there's anything we want you to take home today, is to develop that relationship with God. Now let's get back to our guest for this evening. She is Mrs. Mavis Ahiaji. She's a mother of three. She is a mother for all of us, actually. She's a fashion designer by profession. And for me, she's my personal person. If you don't understand, now your matter, I am sorry, but she's my personal person. For all the other girls, please, I'm sorry. So this evening we want to have a conversation with Mama May, like I always call her. So Mama May, you are welcome.
Thank you.
You are welcome to
Felicia.
this evening's Zoom meeting.
Thank you.
We can't wait to hear your story. So first of all, um, you are a mother of three. You are a fashion designer by profession.
Yes.
You are a wife to a prophet. Is that true?
Yes, you are right.
Just in case I'm misleading
No,
my participants.
no, you are very right.
Okay, so fashion. Is that why you're writing like that? Is that you're writing like that?
Yeah, fashion. Yes, I am a fashion designer. That is my career.
Okay.
That is what I chose to do because that's what I love doing. So yes, I am a fashion designer. Yeah, I make beautiful clothes. Yes.
Let me. You see, when you are talking to people who are into a certain profession, you want to be sure that you haven't committed a blunder in that area. So, Mama, please, my color combination is it on point?
Yes, you're on point.
Guys, I am on point.
Yeah, because you seem to highlight the white side. Yeah, the right color in your dress. So
Oh
I think
my
you're on
God, I'm
point.
blushing already.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mommy. Thank you. Now let's delve down into who maybe Sahiaji is.
Okay.
Let's start by where you even grew up as a child.
Okay.
What was your community like? What environment did you grow up in?
Okay. My name is Melissa Nyaji, like you said.
I salute.
Um, I was born here in Ashaiman.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, around an area we call Vapo Flat.
Okay.
So that's where I grew up. Yeah. And so by God's grace, I was born into a Christian family. Both parents were Presbyterians. Sorry, my father passed on some years ago.
Yeah.
So my mother is alive. And so I grew up around that place
Okay.
with a family who knows the Lord before I grew up. And I must say that that really helped me a lot because growing up, I call myself fortunate because I had elder or older siblings who knew the Lord. Okay, so they were ahead of me, and they were like the pillars on which I was building my life. Okay, so that's how my life began. So I went to my primary school here in Ashaiman.
Okay.
Yes, and then to
Which school
the
was that?
Ashaiman number 2 primary.
Oh, that's my school too.
Yes, number 2. Yes.
Okay.
So I went to Ashaiman number
Okay.
2 primary,
Okay.
and then on to JHS, and then to the senior high
Okay.
here in Ashaiman Secondary School. That's where, yes. So after Ashaiman Secondary School, it got to a point I felt like I had this desire to always play with clothes.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
I like it when I see people wear beautiful clothes. So I felt my interest was there. In fact, whilst in SHS, I did clothing and textiles. So it was like I wanted to build on what I learned
Yeah.
on during my SHS times. So I spoke to one of my older siblings, my big sister, yeah, and I told her I think I have an interest to sew or to make garments, and then she told me she'll work on it for me. So one day I was home. In fact, after JHS, I had to move from my parents to go and live with my big sister.
Okay.
And that was where I started my fashion something career from, because she got me a school, because I told her, even though my interest was in fashion, I am not too comfortable with the wayside.
Okay.
I want to know more into fashion. I want to go deeper into fashion. So she said, okay, let's see if we can get a school.
Okay.
So one day I was home when she came and handed me over with a daily graphic.
Okay.
I think that time it was PMP.
Okay.
Yes. So we looked through, and there was an ad
Okay.
on a fashion school, Lamy Fashion. So she told me she'll be going the next day to see if she can do something about it for me. So God being so good, when she went, things worked out, and so that's how I got into the fashion school.
Okay.
Yes, so I was there for 2 years. Yes, I did fashion for 2 years,
Okay.
and then I graduated from the fashion school. So even during those times, she had to travel, so I was left alone with one of my elder brothers.
Okay.
Yes, so that was where I began to see life on a different note.
Okay.
Because you were with someone who was coaching you, do this, don't do this, do that, don't do this. But here you are all by yourself to take decisions on your own, and also to do things right even when no one was watching. You understand? So I did the school. Got to a point I was doing that all by myself. In fact, I walked from a place called Official Town in Ashaiman to the main station
Okay.
just to board a car. Because as at that time there was nothing like a station there.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to walk.
Okay.
And it is quite a distance, you know. So I normally walk to the station, pick a car from the station to Nwa Barrier, and I walk from Nwa Barrier to my school. So that's how I did my 2-year course. Yes. And God being so good, I graduated, and then now I became face to face with life, how to make things happen, you know. But in fact, going back a little bit, that's like going just to go back a little on 1 or 2 points. Whilst in the primary, there comes a time when we have to go and sell.
Okay.
You understand? So I carry something we call agbalemo. That is cassava dough. And we mold them in little balls.
I know,
Then I carry it in a sieve to go and sell. Little did I know that those things were just preparing me for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So when I completed the fashion school, now I came face to face with life. I mean, you have gone to school, you have graduated, so everybody knows that you should be able to make dresses and get something to eat. You don't have to depend on parents anymore. And those times were quite challenging. Yes, because I didn't know how to start. And it's also because, you know, where I learned the fashion, or where I did my schooling, is different from where we are now, called Ashaiman.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Let's say clothes that we make and charge higher prices. When you come to Ashaiman, they don't know that thing. Meanwhile, you do it with, you add a certain professional touch to it. So those times were quite challenging for me. But, you know, thank God that we know the Lord. So you go back to the Lord in prayer. You try to seek God's face as to what to do. So the idea came to hold on, okay, and also try to get something in addition.
Okay.
So I enrolled in classes to learn a little about IT.
Okay.
Because during that time, it's like IT became something that it was on a cutting edge.
Okay.
Yes, everybody was talking about IT, and people are doing things. So I felt that no, okay, let me just pause, because whilst in school, fashion school, we had a program that we used to design things. Okay, we call it fittingly sew.
Okay.
So with that idea, I felt that no, let me give myself a little education into IT. So at that time, we had one of our members. His name is Brother James Agbaji.
Okay.
He had a cafe in town.
Okay.
And he also had these classes, IT classes. So I went to him and I told him, Brother James, I'm interested. I want you to train me. I want to know a little into IT. I want to know a little bit into IT. And he said, oh, no problem, come, I'll train you. So I went, and then that's where it all began.
Okay.
I did a little IT, the Word, the Excels, and then the likes. It was during that time that duty called, in fact, family duty called. So I had to pause, not to stop, but to pause and go I gave myself a break.
Okay.
From the IT something. But as at that time, I learned a lot.
Okay.
In fact, I nearly drifted into website designing.
Oh,
Yes, because my interest started
developing quickly in that line.
quickly. So I started playing with computer and
Mm.
so my interest started drifting. But I said, no, I love this job.
Mm.
So what I can do is to add it.
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I gave myself a pause, like I was telling you,
Mm.
to go and see to some few things at home
Mm.
before I come back.
If you say some few things
Yeah.
at home, you mean your parents' side,
Yes.
not because you were then not married, right?
Yes, I wasn't married.
So we are talking about your parents and your siblings, kind
Exactly.
of. Okay.
Exactly. I have to go and take care of one of my nieces.
Okay.
Yes, who had just come back from Israel, and she was so little, and she would not just go to anyone
That's you.
but me.
Mm.
So I decided to give myself a break from the IT something course that I was doing to give all my attention to her because she's new.
Mm-hmm.
She's new here. Thank God today she's a big girl.
I see.
Yes.
I see.
So I gave myself a little bit of training in the IT side. So when I paused and came and went back,
Mm.
at that time, Basilia needed an employee.
Senior.
Yes, that is where I learned my IT. That's
Oh,
the
okay.
name of his school or
Okay.
the cafe.
Okay.
Yes. So they needed somebody to employ
Okay.
in the IT. Okay. So let me tell you this. All this while, I still had my mind on my sewing.
Okay.
Okay. So I decided to, okay, let me just take up this job so I can save money to get myself a place where I can practice my sewing.
Yeah.
Because, like I told you, I have to now face the world
Yeah.
just the way it is.
Talking about facing the world.
Yeah.
When you approached this member of the church that let me quickly chip this in. We are live on YouTube, so don't forget to go on YouTube if you want to. Tell your friends about it. Let them also join as well. Now, back to our story. When you came out of school, you needed to do something on the side so you can survive.
Exactly.
The IT thing was a survival
Exactly.
mode activated.
Exactly.
Now, survival mode activated, were you being paid? Because you're going out and you're coming in had to do with you transporting, or you were walking to your.
I walked to my IT classes and back home.
So the man gave you the tuition for free?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So now your feeding was now the problem.
Yes.
And how did you go about that?
That was the
I'm interested in that.
that was the issue. I think from time to time, I get something from my big sister.
Okay.
Yes. She tries to send something down that I think at least you can live on. So that was what helped me as at that time. But because it wasn't something that I can really depend on, I have to think
Yeah.
and act wisely. So I choose to walk from where we were staying to the top there, that is the station side, and then back home.
Okay.
So that's what I was doing until I went for unemployment.
Okay.
Because now, as at that time, I had developed a little idea into IT. So my James employed me to work in the office. So this is what I do. I type. I design letterheads for people.
Okay.
People come, offices, companies come, and I design letterheads. I do programs. I do invitation cards for people. You understand? And then I charge them for the company. That's my work.
Okay.
And at the end of the month, I'm paid. You understand? So during that time, even though I was being paid, I told you I needed a shop.
Yes.
so I can establish my fashion business. And so I decided to sell candies.
in the cafe.
Toffee, yes.
Okay.
Because he had a cafe side, and we also have the
A
office
cafe
side.
side.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I was alone in the office
Okay.
doing
The
that
typing
section.
and all those
Yes,
designing.
exactly. So it came to a point where he needed somebody to help in the cafe.
Okay.
Okay, so now I work in the office and still work in the cafe. And as at that time, um, before you can sign up an email, you have to go to an internet cafe for somebody to help you, to take you through the process. And that was when I really, really took advantage of that section of my
Okay.
life
Okay.
to make it happen.
Okay.
Do you understand? I was able to learn how to um, have this good customer relation with people, how to treat them well. But some people come with very funny things,
I understand.
but you have to act well, you have to do something for
I
them to
know.
be happy, and also to want to always come to your cafe, because there were other cafes in town, you understand. So I decided, since I am in the cafe and I'm dealing with people, why not put candies on top of the shelf?
Okay.
So when you come, you buy the time, maybe you are left with some coins. As won't you just pick a candy and then enjoy whilst
Oh.
I come and assist you
Aliwa,
to
Aliwa.
get your email. Look, I can just open the email for you. I will take you through the process very well. Smile, laugh, to joke with you. Then you buy my candy, and then that was where I started making money. I never knew that thing could help me. You
Those of you
understand?
who are into sales, you see, when she was talking, when you were talking,
Yeah.
I was just thinking about the work I do. I'm
Okay.
into sales.
Yes.
So I'm beginning to think about how some of these tricks can do the magic in my
Try it,
office.
and you
Sell
come
coffee,
and
sell
enjoy
coffee.
it.
So those of you who are into sales and human relationship, please,
Add
you better
coffee.
take your notepad and start writing. Mommy, let's go on. So
Uh-huh.
quickly, now you are with the team. You are trying to help. You are selling candies.
Yes.
So extra money.
Yes, extra money. So I made extra money to be able to acquire a shop. You understand?
I do.
And I will say this year, um, let us not think that we are all alone in a situation. When you go through something, it's like I've completed school, I don't have anything to do, nobody wants to help me. There are a lot of things you can do to help yourself.
Thank you.
You understand? So during that time, I made it a point to also do something for myself,
For yourself.
something that I will be proud of tomorrow. So, God being so good, a woman just close to my house, as at that time, was giving away her salon, okay, at a very, very cheap price. But let me tell you, even though it sounded cheap, it wasn't cheap for me.
Of course.
Yes, because I was young. I was trying to make things work out, and so that money sounded a bit huge for me.
For you.
So I spoke to um, my big brother,
Okay.
okay, and Bishop, to help me, because even though I was saving, as at that time, it wasn't easy.
Just for the sake of those
Yeah.
who do not know Bishop,
Yeah.
please, who is Bishop?
Okay, like I first told you, I grew up with older siblings ahead of me.
Okay.
So I have three female siblings,
Okay.
and then three male siblings.
Okay.
So Bishop happened to be my biggest
Brother.
brother.
So what's
But
his
now he's
name?
no more my big brother.
Hey.
He's my father. Yes, so he
Okay.
has graduated from being
A
a
big brother
brother
to a father.
to a father.
At the point,
Yes.
I was really scared when you said that.
Please don't
I was
be.
getting myself ready for
You want to
the
run
next
away.
title you were going to give me.
Okay, that's what you said. Yes.
All right, so here's Bishop
Yeah.
Samuel Otuji.
Yeah, Bishop
So that
Samuel.
is the gentleman we are talking about.
Yes.
He's my father too.
Yes, and when I spoke about my elder sibling, my elder sister helping, I was talking about Mrs. Beatrice Naka.
And TB.
Yes, and
My mother.
so she took me to the school and all those things.
Yeah.
Yes, so
So you spoke
I
to him
spoke to
about
Bishop
the
about
shop.
it. Yes, about the shop, and God being so good,
Mm.
he supported me with what he had.
Okay.
And then I added my savings as at that time.
Your savings.
Yes.
The toffee
From the
savings.
toffee.
I
Please,
know,
I
right?
don't eat it. I sell it.
Oh, I didn't say you used to eat
You
it.
understand? Yes. Because I wanted to make the money. Alicia, you are
No,
laughing.
the way you were putting it to me, I wouldn't eat mine either. If that is what you are thinking.
Okay, shall
So,
you eat yours?
I gathered some money from the coffee I was selling and also the money I was making from the cafe. Okay, and you know what? I get tidbits. Okay, I get
People tipping you here.
tipping me, yeah, because of how I relate with people in the cafe, and I am glad I did that because through that I came to know a lot of people. I came in contact with a lot of people after after I left the place, I got in touch with a lot of people. So it helps to be nice.
To be nice, yeah.
It helps to be nice to people wherever you find yourself because you would never know who you might be dealing with.
Yeah.
You understand? So I made some money and by God's grace I acquired that shop for myself. So but even after acquiring the shop, I didn't stop my work. Okay. I decided that okay, my work begins from somewhere 8 in the morning
Okay.
to somewhere in the afternoon.
Okay.
Where we ran shifts. Okay, we were about 4, so we ran
Okay.
shifts. So this is what I did. I decided to open my shop. Okay, but I opened it in the afternoons.
Okay.
So after the cafe,
Then you come back to
I
your
come
shop.
back to my shop.
Okay.
Then I start trying my hands on some of the few things that I've learned from the fashion school. So that's how it continued until a point where I felt I needed time for my fashion work because the desire was there. Okay, I love to do that one.
Okay.
So I decided to just stop my cafe job and then also focus because now I need to give all my attention to the work.
Okay.
Because fashion is such that when the more you practice, the more you
better
do
you
it,
become.
the better you become.
Yeah.
So I decided to give myself time to work and also to develop what I have learned from the fashion school. So it continued. That was what I do. Now I started making money.
Okay.
Now people come, try to treat them well. Then they talk to people about me.
Okay.
And that's how come I got a lot of customers just around that time.
Do you remember the first clients you had?
And I will not say first client because you should know that I have sisters.
Okay.
Ladies
Okay.
like those things. So
Okay.
my first clients should be my sisters.
Okay.
Yes.
Then from there, others got to know.
Others got to know.
Now the reason why I was asking you about your first client was that when you are into these when you are into something new,
Yes.
it's very difficult to get somebody to trust what you are bringing out.
Yes.
So I remember when I was first employed as a sales consultant, Japan Motors.
Okay.
The very first man that bought a car from me till date, I still value that gentleman because it was it was a try and error thing I was doing.
Okay.
I wasn't too good at it, but the man trusted me and bought the car. So the same thing here. Before somebody would trust the process, the person will be like, me and me from in two man bro, another saying, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you know what? Whilst in the fashion school, there was a lady
Okay.
who happened to be my friend. Okay, she was also from Ashaiman.
Okay.
You know, three of us were from Ashaiman to Nungwa.
Okay.
This lady was so close to me, and we were all into it. We had plans
Okay.
for our fashion something, and so we became very close. You know,
Okay.
we go and then come. Sometimes I had to meet her at the station. We bought the same car to school and then back home. But somewhere along the line, she had to drop out.
Okay.
She loves fashion. I know she loves fashion, but her dad wanted her to do something else.
Okay.
You understand? It wasn't easy for her, but she told me she had to just obey because in fact she has to listen to her father as at that time. So when we completed, it so happened that Vero wanted only me
To sew for
to
her.
sew for her.
Beautiful.
So
You
that
were
was
blessed.
how, yes.
You were blessed.
So she trusted me because she knew what we were doing there.
Okay.
Yes. So
It wasn't difficult for you
It wasn't-
sailing that initial
No.
stages.
And one of my first clients happened to be her mom.
Okay.
So she linked me up to her mother.
Come on.
And so I go to her house, pack everything into a sack. I'll bring to my shop, then I'll sew them gradually and then take it back to her. And so that's how I began
You started that aspect.
that aspect of my life.
Okay. So a few years after that.
So a few years after that,
Oh, Mama, why is smiling?
a few years after that, the issue of marriage came in.
Okay, no wonder you were smiling.
Yes.
Okay.
The issue of marriage came in because, you know, we are not growing any younger. Yeah. So even though it was not on my mind whilst I was doing all those things, it got to a point where I have to start thinking about marriage. You understand? Yes. So it so happened that I met someone, and then by God's grace we got married. We had 3 kids.
Okay. The way you are jumping that,
Yes.
I'm not enjoying that aspect of the story.
You enjoy it.
Mama, you cannot go scot-free with that angle of the story.
Yes.
Now, I want us to, I realized something from the trend of your story.
Okay.
You seem to be a very focused person.
Yes.
Now, for anybody who will start working, let's even say will start schooling and knows exactly what he or she wants to do, I applaud those people. Those are very serious-minded people. Now, I know you had a lot of distractions, but you have avoided those ones. So I want us to go back a little and see some of these distractions that came your way. So the very first thing was when you were growing up as a kid. I know you were surrounded with other kids who probably had a better life, right?
Yes.
Did you have kids that had a better life? So you compare yourself sometimes and wonder why me, or why is my situation different? Did you have that kind of comparison as a child?
Oh yes, yes. I had people, like you said, I had people who I would say were better off. Okay. But you know, because of the training that we had,
Okay.
one thing that has helped me with that training was to be content,
Okay.
not to try to compare myself to anybody.
Okay.
So even though there were distractions like you were saying, I wasn't moved too much because of the training that I had. I was okay with what I had, you know, because you know, when you have older ones who like guide you.
Mhm.
You don't just flop,
Okay.
or you don't just try to shift focus. You just have to do the right thing. That's it. You understand? So yes, it came, but I had help. Let's say I had people I was looking up to. Yes.
So one of the things that I would say from what you are saying that helped was that contentment you had,
Exactly.
where you were just okay with
I
what
was
you
just
had.
yes.
So that is one big lesson right there. I hope we are learning. Please, I want to be seeing the chats coming through. I haven't seen any. Okay, there's been a lot of chats. Okay, all right. So I wasn't watching, so I was just going to say you guys are not participating, but I just saw something. So fast track, you realized that you didn't want just a roadside kind of fashion, but you wanted something a bit more poised, a bit more
Yes.
professional.
Exactly.
Where did that feeling come from?
Um, Maybe it's because of what I follow on TV and
Okay.
also in the newspapers. I'm the type who normally, because of my desire for fashion,
Okay.
I always want to watch fashion shows on TV. Then,
Okay.
the Kofi and Sons and those people normally have fashion shows from time to time, and I realize it's quite different from what I see.
saw
Yeah, I
around.
see around.
Okay.
So I felt, okay, why not try this one?
Okay.
Okay, and see how it comes. You understand? So that was how.
You told
Yeah.
darling.
Yes.
Did you have to pray about it and be sure of what God was saying? Or it was just the
Oh,
passion,
not
the
really.
feeling you had
It
that
was
you
just the
followed?
passion and then the feeling that I was following as at that time.
And I don't think you regret it today.
No, I don't regret it.
Mm.
I even want to better it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. Now, so let's come to where we are today.
Okay.
You got married. Now you are a wife
Okay.
to a prophet.
Yes.
You are a mother of three, and all the others like myself,
Yes.
the 1,001 of us that are all around you. I want to know when you go to that um, that bridge of choosing a man.
Yes.
Did you have in mind exactly what um, like were you ministry minded? Were you that, because we haven't really talked about your Christian life, were you ministry minded? Did it come into mind as to what kind of man to go for? I Please, you get my question.
Yes.
What made you choose this particular man? Was he the first? You know?
Okay, let me say, I'll still go back to the upbringing.
Okay.
Okay. You know, because of the Christian background that I had,
Mm.
it's helped me to always want to get it right.
Okay.
You understand?
Mm.
So that made me home church, home church type of person.
Okay.
I strongly involved myself in church activities. So because of that, or through this, I was able to get something from that side of my life.
Okay.
And that came from the teachings that we normally have,
Okay.
which gave me an idea
Okay.
of the type of person to look out for
Okay.
in terms of choice. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because whilst at the cafe, cafe is a public something. All manner of people come to the cafe to browse, and men come to that
A
place
lot
also.
of them.
Yes. So I wouldn't say um, he is the first or the second or even the third.
Okay.
You understand? But because of the things that I have learned over the years,
Okay.
look, the things that we are learning in this house, women, these things are nuggets. In fact, they are um, pearls. They are priceless, things that we need to hold on to. Because you see, when you take them serious, it's guides you and it guards you. You understand? So because of that upbringing, because of the things that I come to church. I'm always at church in church. If I'm not in church, I'm at home or at workplace. You understand? So because of the teachings that we had during those times, it gave me a little idea about what to look out for in a man. So even though a lot of people came around, by God's grace, God was able to keep me from falling into some of those things. And then I was able to focus on what I really wanted to see before maybe give myself the go ahead. Do you understand? Yeah.
So, apart from the prayers and the teachings that you had,
Yes.
which I would say were one of the pillars,
Yes.
what were the other? Did you have to consult as to, I am saying this because marriage, like I have seen and heard, is one very big bridge.
Yes.
Like young people like ourselves now, we want to cross. But then it's a very delicate thing to do. So you want to be careful, you want to be sure that you are making a good choice. So did you have to consult somebody to help you? Just to clear all the
doubt,
dilemma
the
that could
dilemma,
possibly be going on in your mind?
Yes. You know what? During my time in the cafe and work, like beginning my life, I don't know, but maybe I'll still say it's because of the upbringing. You can't just easily bring a man to my house. No. It doesn't happen. In fact, if you should bring a friend, that friend becomes a friend to everybody. So you see, thinking about marriage was never part of the plan. No. It wasn't a part of my plans at all. I was only focused on work, how to get myself established, well established, making what I want to make in the fashion side of my life. So in fact, I didn't think of marriage. No. Marriage came in very late. Marriage came in very late. So, someone will say, you can't keep dumping people. It is not my thing to be dumping people back. It's because I didn't have that thing on mind. I felt that, marriage should wait.
You want to be ready.
I want to be ready. Because you see, during those times, we were made to see marriage, like you have said, as a very big thing.
It is, right?
And yes, it is. Marriage is not a joke. You understand? So I thank God that I had that thing on mind, that marriage wasn't a joke. So when treading, you have to tread cautiously. You understand? So because of that, in fact, I closed my mind on marriage, even though I had issues. In fact, there were issues around that side also. It was good for me. So I just concentrate. When someone can politely, I tell you, please, I just completed. I want to wait. I want to establish myself a while. Yeah, it ended with some insult, but it's cool.
It's okay.
So
it's okay.
I wasn't thinking about marriage. Marriage came in, I don't know, but very late. Very late in my life. So that was when the crossroad, when I got to that crossroad, and like I said, I wasn't thinking about it, but something caught my attention. Do you understand? Number one, when I considered my age, as at that time, I felt, maybe I should start thinking about marriage. Do you understand? But I had on mind what I really wanted. You understand? So even though I was thinking about marriage, it wasn't the main thing. So I started now praying about marriage. So now I added marriage to my prayer topics. But I wasn't too much into it.
Okay.
I just pray about it and then
Move
let
on
it
with your
move on.
life.
Yes, move on with my life.
Mm.
Yes. So that's how it.
I know you are trying to dodge this aspect of the question, but then, okay, when you were praying, did you hear anything? Did you hear any confirmations? Viewers, please, you let me land that question. I know you will come back and ask her. Since she's trying to dodge it, she'll answer it when one of you. Derek, are you there? Hello, my guys. Please let it come as your question so that Mama May will not dodge it. I'm trying to bring this thing out of her, but she doesn't want to. Now let's get to the marriage.
Okay.
I'm not trying to just zoom the whole thing into your marriage, but then it's because it's ministry.
Yes.
And then most of the people, let me see, most of us here are ministry people.
Yes.
And then I know that that particular step affects our ministry.
Yes.
And it is, I don't know if it is in the marriage that you discovered your ministry. But then I want to know what you do now. You are a ministry person,
Yes.
right? At what stage did you discover that ministry aspect of your life or that purpose? You know.
At what stage? I think I discovered this whilst I was ending my course in Basilia just
Okay.
around that time, because I found myself just wanting to be in God's house,
Okay.
be at rehearsals for
Okay.
choir, and also I wanted to always be with the youth.
Okay.
So that was when we go for camp meetings and those things.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
But you see, even though I was brought up in a Christian home,
Okay.
it got to a point in my life I wasn't sure. Not that I was involving myself in something that was bad, but I became confused. What is this thing about Christianity?
Okay.
What does it really entail?
Okay.
So when I was in a SHS, when I got to SHS, I went for the SU. I registered with the SU.
Okay.
So when I think I got a friend, Venice, in a school who also is like the preferred type of
Okay.
person, you understand? So it so happened that one day, in fact, we had a worship time,
Okay.
and then a preacher came, somebody came to preach, and at the end of the preaching, the person said, so now anybody who wants to give your life to Christ, just don't raise your hand, but just bow your head and then say the sinner's prayer with me.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Mm.
So at that time, even though I was living my normal Christian life, I felt maybe it wasn't enough. I needed this because of what I heard. So that day, I said the sinner's prayer, and I took that day as the day when I really, really got my life to Christ, because now I know what I was doing.
Okay.
You
Okay.
understand? What I mean was that even though we were brought up in a Christian home,
You didn't really understand.
I didn't really understand what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Because yeah, sorry. We go
Yeah,
to
Koye,
church
yeah,
and
Kobe.
Kobe. And then we do everything. We do the quiet times. Our daddy take us through the morning devotions and the like. But now I felt, okay, I need to do it right.
Okay.
And know what I
Exactly
was
what you were
doing.
doing.
You understand?
I do.
So now I fully committed myself to the SU,
Okay.
and also committed myself to church activities.
Okay.
To always be found where I will be fed. Okay,
You were now
spiritually.
hungry.
Now I was hungry to know more. So I want to be where I will know more.
Okay.
So that was when the camp meetings came in.
Okay.
With Pastor Nico, and those people. And we go to camp meetings with other churches, and I try to be fully involved.
Yeah.
You understand? It was during those times that I realized this ministry thing started coming
good
up.
deal,
You
right?
understand? He said, hey, it might be a good deal. I mean, it will be okay to remain in God's
Wow.
house. You understand? So that was when I really got it. That
Okay.
maybe I may be a ministry material. Yes. So that was it.
So you decided
Yes.
that you wanted to live for God.
Yes.
Now let's face it.
Yes.
How did it go? Was it a culture? Like you see the way when you go to church and the message comes and you are all hyper, and then the real situation, the exams come, you get it. How was it like? So after deciding, how did the journey go? What did you find it easy? I know it's no, but like how did it go? Now you say you are for God.
Yes.
So do it. Let's see now.
I was for God. I am for God. I'll be for God.
Amen.
Yes. It wasn't easy, Felicia. It wasn't. I won't say it was that easy because during those times when you try to be different among the lots,
You become an alien.
you become an alien. You face some level of criticisms. You understand? So I wouldn't say it was easy. Okay, that is in my social life.
Okay.
And look, it wasn't even easy in the church. Yes, it wasn't easy in the church because
In the church.
yes, in the church. Why am I saying this? When you give your life to Christ, it's kind of sweet.
Yes.
Yes, you are all for it. You want to get it right. You want to be with God's people. You are happy with the programs and things. So I thought it was going to be like that. Then the challenges started coming up. And one of the challenges that I really, really faced had to do with rejection. You will not understand, but
Please let me understand.
rejection, I felt it got to a point that I didn't feel I belonged here because one would think that where God's people are, in fact, there should be nothing like strife.
Yeah. There should be fullness of joy.
There should be fullness of joy. I mean,
Like the scripture says.
like the scripture says. But I was surprised to see something else.
Rejection.
Serious rejection. And look, during those times, not now, because I've grown out of those things. But then it was a surprise to me. Like I really felt it. Do you understand? It's like as though it got to a point as though you like you are becoming too much around. You understand? Yes, you are becoming too much around. In fact, I must say that I don't know whether it's because I was related to the bishop.
Okay.
But maybe it also contributed because look, there was an instant where a set of people called me and they were like, "Oh, we know you are Bishop's sister. We just want to be secured when we are doing something. We just want to be sure if you will not go and also sell us out." I was like, what is this one too? Is it also part of
Ministry.
the ministry team? So, I was naive as at that time. So I was like, oh, please, what are you talking about? I don't know anything of that sort. So just flow. So it's like, it got to a point, I started feeling uneasy, as though, no, because of this, you don't have to be around, you understand? Sort of, it was, you will not know it, but it's very real, you understand? And those were some of my difficult times being in God's house, you understand? But thank God that those things helped me.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Even though I didn't understand those things as at that time, because look, there were instances, I can cite a lot of instances where I really felt it. Like I don't really belong in church.
Where do you
understand?
belong?
Maybe I belong in the world or something like that. Because you see, it's surprising to know that um, like strive is so much in church where it's not where the Spirit of God is, there's liberty and everything. No, it gets to a point where you really face it. But you see, little did I know that those things had to come for me to learn so I'll become what I am today. In fact, those times were not easy, but it helped me.
How did you overcome? What did you do? Because you were in the choir, right?
Yes, I was.
You
in
were
the choir.
singing and
I
everything.
was singing.
So how did those rejections
Yeah.
affect your, your output?
Yeah, my output.
How did it?
At a
Were you so
point,
composed?
it affected me. In fact, it affected me so much so that it made it difficult for me to want to be around people. You understand? Even though there's this deep-seated something that was in me, prompting me to be around people to be of help. You understand? But I didn't know how to go about it. So those things were very difficult for me. I was like, this ministry thing, will it even work? You understand? But it really helped me to build a very strong being that I am today. You understand? Because it got to a point I decided that I wasn't going to mind
anybody.
I wasn't going to mind anybody. I am going to fight my way through.
Okay.
You understand? So in fact, sometimes when I'm alone, I talk to myself in the mirror. I look myself in the mirror and I say certain things to myself in the mirror. I am not going back because of this, that, or that. I am still going to push forward. Because you see, there's that yearning. When you are a ministry person, you will know it. Even if things are fighting, there's a small thing that still holds you not to still get glued, not to go back. You understand? So in fact, it got to a point I told myself, look, I am going to fight my way through. You understand? Whether rejection, criticisms, which I really faced, or insults. In fact, I had it, insults. I decided, look, I am never going to look back. You understand? Because back in those days when I was in the primary, my daddy had a piggery, you understand? And so we used to feed the pigs. In fact, I'll carry food from where we were to where the fish pond somewhere in Ashaiman. So that was where our piggery was. And in fact, one day I encountered something on my way to feed the pigs. It's not an exciting thing when you are being told to go and feed pigs. In fact, even the pan you carry is so dark, it's black, and you have those things in it.
What's in it?
The food. You are going to feed them, and when you go, you are going to sweep their room.
Oh, really?
And then give them food and then water. So one day on my way to the place, in fact, every day when I passed, there was this guy who normally look for my trouble, but I don't look his way. He'll be making fun of me. In fact, the thing I'm carrying, it wasn't a pleasant thing for me, Felicia.
I was doing that now.
Oh, but do you know what I did?
What did you do?
One day on my way to the place, this boy came and stood in front of me. He stood in front of me and had a guts to tell me, I will not let you pass.
Okay.
And look, I was angry, going to do that job.
Already.
So somehow, I gathered courage and then brought my foot down and warned him not to try me. But he persisted. It was Felicia. In fact, I know God was on my side. I gave him a slight push. Please don't try it at home. I gave him a slight push. And there he was on the floor. I said, Jesus, today is my day. I sat on him and gave him a good beating.
Thank you.
You understand?
I do.
When in fact, by the time I was done, people were applauding. They were like, "You did a good job. This boy is too naughty." So they carried me. They helped me to carry my food. In fact, that thing helped me to be able to overcome. You understand? When we came to God's house, I decided
Really?
to fight things
Hey.
on my own.
Sir?
I don't fight people, but I fight things
Within. Okay.
Yes, so you were asking, you wanted to know how I was able to navigate those things. Those were the things. Build a strong you. You understand?
I do.
Where even when there's no one to fight for you, there's no one to talk for you, you have God already. So He has given you all that it takes to be able to sail through. So if it has to do with talking to people, please, you can face it. If it has to do with you walking away so you can have your peace of mind, do it. You see, you build a strong you on the inside. You understand?
I do.
And it got to a point where I decided that no, I'm a very melancholic person. Okay? I'm a very reserved person when you should ask me. But because of ministry, I realized that I cannot be the melancholic me. To be able to do the things that we are talking about, to be able to sail through challenges or troubles, as we put it. So I started praying about it honestly. I told God, this me doesn't help because I can really pour into myself, and I realized it wasn't helping because anytime I do that, I become uncomfortable.
Okay.
On the inside, meaning that there was something in me that has to come out. You understand? So that was how I was able to. I decided to build a strong me, and that's where I am today. Please don't try that one.
Oh no. I the day I'll tell you my side of that story. The way I didn't beat that guy. I'm not kidding, guys. I'm not kidding. With all seriousness. Now, it's already 7:07, so please keep your questions coming.
Okay.
If you don't have any questions, I want to still be having a conversation. Mama and me, I think you should take a sip of water.
Thank you, Felicia.
So,
Thank you.
guys, this is Mama May, Mrs. Ahiaji. She's been with us from 6 p.m. We've been talking. So for those of you who just joined us, you are welcome. You are a bit late though, but you are welcome. And for those of you who have been with us from the minute we started till now, thank you so much for sticking to us. Now, keep your questions coming. If you have any questions for her, please keep them coming. And then I can ask on your behalf. But I believe you are learning a thing or two. For me, I've been blessed. I've learned so much. One of the things that has encouraged me so far had got to do with the fact that she was so determined. Now somebody has just come out of school. For those of us, I won't even say you, for those of us who are out of school, and all we are doing is to fold our arms, and we are waiting to be employed. We are waiting, for some manna to fall from heaven. We are waiting for some help from somebody. And then at the end of the day, we now form this notion that nobody wants to help us. If you listen very carefully to the story, she decided that she wanted to help herself. And I'm sure that is what led others to also develop the interest to help you.
Exactly.
Your brother, your sister, they were interested in helping you because they saw some level of commitment from your side. And if there is something I would recommend this evening, it's for those of us who are still sitting down and waiting for jobs to call on us. Let's rather be the ones calling on the jobs and get something out there. There's a question that has come through. Let me see. Hey. You were trying to dodge. Somebody has asked. The person has repeated the question 3 times. So the person said, that's from David Warwick Brown. D Brown, thank you for being with us. You can ask the questions that even I cannot ask. When I was trying to ask her, she was dodging. How did you meet Prophet David? How did you meet Prophet David? How did you meet Prophet David? Being a reserved person. So that's a question from D Brown.
Okay. I want to go um, back a little before I come to this. I'm
Please
not
go
done
ahead.
yet.
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, I told you I had older siblings. Okay.
Okay.
When you were talking about, for those of you who had completed and are waiting to be called and those things, you know, someone might will say, or someone might say, but you had elder siblings because you are the last among 7 children,
Exactly.
and your siblings should be old enough to be very supportive. You know something,
Tell
Felicia?
me.
It is best to work and get yourself a full pack of an ice cream
Okay.
to enjoy and get full than to go for little bits of ice cream from people.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Do you
Okay.
get where I'm coming from? Where
I
I'm
get
coming?
you.
I knew I had older siblings, okay? I knew I had early ones who I mean, my sister was somewhere, I can be pestering her to be sending me money, money. But it got to a point I felt they also had responsibilities.
Exactly.
So you see, young people, when we come out of school, let's not look at those who are making it as having it easy.
Okay.
People or the early ones we see around, maybe in the church or around, they have their personal challenges and their personal responsibility.
Okay.
So it is best to fight your way through to be able to make it for yourself
And be assisted.
than to always
Rely solely
to
on it. Yeah, I
rely
get it.
so much on people. Let me tell you, the people have helped people in this church. But let me tell you, those people also have their own personal challenges and responsibilities. You understand? So when you have it on your mind that this person might be well to do, but maybe he or she also has responsibilities to take care of. So why would you want to burden that person? Why not rather go for counsel, advice as to how to do it? You understand? And then do it yourself and make it happen for your own self. You understand?
Okay.
So young people, let us not think that when we are out of school and there's nothing to do, that's the end of the world. There are a lot of things that we can do for ourselves. You can, if you are a lady, you can get little things to sell. Maybe roll on. You have friends. Get those things and then talk to them about it.
Yeah.
You can be saving through those little things that you do. You understand? So it is better to allow yourself to work your own way through the process rather than always wanting to depend because you know when you try to do that, know that you are building yourself for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because it will come to a time, you are talking about marriage. Marriage is not for children. It is not for babies. You are going to face things that you really need to stand.
Okay.
You understand? So use the time
To learn.
Get yourself busy. Do something at all costs. Seek counsel. What do I do? Can I maybe do bidding? Can I bid on a slippers and sell? Can I learn how to make a fascinator to be selling for my friends? Because you know, ladies we like wedding and then fascinator. I love it. So why don't you get yourself busy so that you train yourself? It is not just for today, but you are training yourself to be on your own, to stand on your own. You understand? So that's where I wanted to come. Okay, let's go to Dr. Brown's question. Where did I meet Prophet David? I met Prophet David here in church.
Okay.
Yes. I met him here in church. Maybe that's about it.
Oh, you can't leave the. No. Please, is this fair? Please, I don't think we want to let her go like that.
I met Prophet David while serving. Okay. I met Prophet David while serving in the house. I told you I was always a church person, you understand. And so that was how I met him. He was also, in fact, I didn't really know him much. It wasn't my friend. You understand? I was busy with my own thing. You understand? But some way, somehow, it got to a point where I used to see this guy interpreting for Bishop whenever he preaches, and that was it. I don't care what he does. I didn't really mind. Little did I know that we were going to end up together.
Little did you know that you will mind.
Yes, I did mind.
You didn't mind, but today you mind. Oh, but you are still dodging this. Okay, since it wasn't my question, Deep Brown. Deep Brown, are you okay? Please, if you are okay, we can move on to other questions so that I can let my guest be. I didn't come to torment my guest. Please. So I am done talking about that. So if you have more questions, please keep them coming. So he met Prophet David when she was serving. So for those of us who are still serving, keep serving. One of these days,
You might be.
yes, you will meet that Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, if there's anything like that. So we are still serving. We are still serving. Oh, Obisa, we shall serve la. That's it. Keep serving. Why? The spirit of interpretation. Wow, it's good to serve. Hey, which one is spirit of interpretation? Please, please, please. Okay, somebody is asking. Tell us about a time when God shocked you, and then another time when you shocked yourself, where you surprised yourself, or where God really surprised you. You least expected this one. Is there moments like that where God really kept your mouth opened? Like really, you did this. Like when God wowed you, you know that thing. Can you share? Is there a moment like that?
Yes. In fact, there has been moments, you know, for a child of God. You will not say there has been only one moment, because once you're a child of God, things come your way every now and then. You understand?
Okay.
And then when things happen, most of the time when you are taken through, you go like, wow, God, did you really do this
Okay.
for me?
Okay.
So as for the moments, they are uncountable.
Let's share one.
One. Which one should I pick? Before or after?
You share any of the experiences.
Yes, experience. I had a lot of experiences, but you see, there was a time I had a certain experience.
Okay.
You know, what happened to the person, I wouldn't say it was a good thing, you understand.
Yes.
But I felt that, God, did you really do this for me to see, to learn from? You understand? I told you I had insults also. But someone one day insulted me because she felt that I was supposed to have done something to please her that I didn't do. You understand? And I really felt bad because you see, she was even able to embarrass me in the presence of people. And it was so hurting. You understand? So I kept my calm. I kept my cool. Until one day, I heard that same person had a challenge in the areas she was trying to push me into. You understand? It's like, I was like, you are trying to let me into something I wasn't ready for.
Okay.
It didn't call for insult, okay, or to embarrass me. But later, I found out that the person fell into the same thing.
Okay.
So defeated, you understand? And I didn't rejoice, no. But I was like, God, can you really do this? Does it really happen? So Because you see, when you cry, when things happen and you go to God and you cry, He listens.
Yeah, He
You understand?
does.
And He knows us more than we know ourselves.
Yeah.
So in my brokenness, I really went. It's really affected me so much. But later, I saw something and I was surprised. I saw that person in the same situation that she was trying to push me into, and she really fell flat. It's not something to rejoice, but it taught me a lesson. It made me to see God in a different way. You understand? It made me to see how real God can be to me.
Yeah.
You understand?
I
Yeah.
do.
So those things really, really kept me going. Yeah.
Thank you, Mommy. There's a another angle of the question. The person says, "What was the moment where you yourself, shocked yourself? Like this one, dear, I didn't think I could do it, but I have done it." And
I think I remember.
Okay.
You know, I'm the type who I told you I was quite reserved, you understand. I'm not the type who really, even though we sing, I was part of the choir sings, but I always have the stage fright whenever I mount the stage.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So there came a time, in fact, even though I lead the choir to sing, there was an aspect of me that really want to go into praise and worship.
Okay.
You understand? So whenever I walk around or I go about my normal chores, I try to picture myself leading people
Okay.
in that thing. So I remember there was a time. Hey, a lot of things I can say. I remember, I'll tell you, I remember there was a time, that wasn't the first, that was the second. What I'm saying now is the second. But the first one has to do with the youth, the youth ministry. In fact, I shocked myself.
Okay.
Because I stayed with my sister. And so I didn't come out too much. I only obey orders. Mine is to obey orders, to do things until she left town. Do you understand? So when she left, I told myself, I'm going to build on myself. I'm going to come out of my shells. So let me tell you this. We were told that the youth had a drama team.
Okay.
They have a drama group. So they normally meet at Mexico, Denta in Mexico. So I normally work from Shuttle to Mexico and back, be it at night or in the afternoon or in the morning. So the first day I decided to go for that meeting, that was the day that the main person, the main, how do you call
Character.
it? Character for the drama that night didn't show up. And I wasn't, that time, I wasn't even too much into choir.
Okay.
I wasn't too much into choir. I wasn't even part of the choir. And so you could know, you should know the sort of thing that I was feeling as at that time. It wasn't easy for me at all. So when we went for the rehearsals at Mexico, that time, the Collins was there, Nico.
Okay.
They were the main people.
Okay.
They were, yeah. And then few others, Dorothy Gijon. Yeah, you may not know her, but she came to church recent times when Bishop was around. Yeah, and those people, they were the main people. And who am I? Who was I in time? So I just went to go and see what they do. So I walked from Official Town that evening. You understand? That time I was all by myself. I told you, with my other brother, but he goes to work and comes very late in the night. So I decided to go for that meeting. When I went, they were set, waiting for the main character. Apparently, they had already rehearsed some parts,
A number of
times, and I wasn't there. So I came to sit down
Watching.
just to watch. Then I don't know. One of them were like, "Oh, Ladies, come and try this part. Which part is this one? So I got up, but I was really shaking because I didn't know how it was going to be. So they told me, this is what this is what we are doing, this is what this person is going to do, and that and that and that. So you think about something and then do something. Hey, how am I going to do
Think
it?
about
So all right,
that.
I did it anyway.
Wow.
That day I really shocked myself.
It went well.
It went well and they were happy. And it so happened that they changed the person to take me as the main character for that first drama that we did. And that day I became a celebrity because we had to stage it at an all night.
Hey, sister.
And I was the main character. In fact, I gave my best shot.
You didn't collapse after that.
And I surprised myself.
You didn't collapse after that. Oh my God.
So in fact, that day I shocked myself. And also when I was given an opportunity one night, I was just called out of nowhere to come and lead 31st night praise and worship.
Hey.
And I was shaking, but you see, God is good.
All the time.
And the grace of God is always with us. I didn't know where the courage and the strength came from. And after that praise and worship, I really shocked myself. I was like, did I really do
You
this?
did.
Because at the end of the evening, everyone was...
You did
I
well.
really did well, Stacy.
Unlike me. The first day I led praise and worship, I only had one song in my mind.
Oh.
And after that song, no other song came to my mind again. I was standing there until the praise and worship leader came for the microphone.
My God, sorry.
Oh my God. Guys, keep your questions coming. Okay. So now, I think somebody has sent a question, but let's talk about this. Now, I know there are a lot of opportunities around for young people, and you have tried telling us a few of them. Let's see some of the principles that have guided you through your life. Okay, a few you would want to share with young people so we can also hold fast to some of these principles.
You know, because of the training and then also what I have been made to go through, I developed my own principles for myself. And one of the first, or one of them is honesty makes life simple. Honesty makes life simple. Do you understand? There's one principle that I stand by. And it has helped me over the years. It is very important. Don't ever think that you can just get away with it. Just be honest. You see, you are like child of God. You are learning things. Don't just lay it down. Honesty will make your life as simple as it can be. You don't have to crowd yourself with too much. And one of the principles that have guided me is, the only one who can really make you happy is you.
I heard that. The only one that can make you happy is you.
It's you. The only one who can make you, as an individual,
happy.
The only one who can make you happy
It's you.
is yourself.
Please explain that.
Life gives us a lot of things to go through. You understand? And young people, we have funny things on our minds concerning maybe relationships, concerning marriage, and all those things. But look, happiness doesn't come from all those things. Let me tell you this. It's a fact of life. Don't think that you are going to be happy all your life by maybe getting yourself associated with someone. If you want to always be, if you want to be happy always, maybe you need to go to the concert party.
Oh,
yes, but the real person, the real you, is the one who will make you happy because you have learned to accept yourself for who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You don't compare yourself to other people, be it red or white, be it black or white. You accept who you are. This is me.
Yeah.
This is Mavis. This is who God has made me to be. I am content with what I am in the Lord. Happiness will only come from that one and not from you because people will disappoint you.
Yeah. I heard you. That's a big one to swallow, huh? Guys, please keep your questions coming. So, Mommy, you have learned that you are the only one that can make yourself happy.
Yes.
You have learned about honesty.
Yes.
Let's keep them coming. What other things has life taught you that you can share with young people? I want just keep. I can't stop.
You can't stop.
I'm enjoying you,
Yeah.
you know. So please keep them coming.
Life teaches us a lot of things, people. And when you give yourself to it, there are a lot of things that you can learn. Apart from being honest, apart from trying
Making yourself happy by yourself.
You one thing that you also need to do is learn to listen when you are corrected, when you are advised, when someone calls you to say, I think this doesn't work. Sometimes it might hurt, okay? And most of the time, correction doesn't really go pleasant. It doesn't
the word of God, right?
Yes.
Correction is never
It's
pleasant.
never pleasant.
Yeah.
And one of the things that has helped me is that sometimes you can be rebuked very sharply. And most of the time, you will not want to even think about it. But let me tell us, young people, one thing that we are missing as young people is counsel, correction. When you are going wrong or something is not really going right, and an elder or someone calls you to put you right, please don't get offended. Even if it doesn't feel sweet.
It will never feel sweet, right?
It will never feel sweet because some truth can hurt.
Yeah.
But you see, swallow everything that you have. Go back, get back and see, why am I being criticized? Why am I being corrected? What is this person saying? Is it going to help me? Please don't take offense. Look, there's nothing out there in the world. All we need is in the house of God. Our correction, who we have to be tomorrow, is in the house of God. It is men and women of God who will call us to correct us and to put us on track. So don't get offended when someone says that, hey dear, maybe the dressing is not really going well. Why don't you check it? Maybe he or she might have seen something before, and the person doesn't want you to repeat the same mistake. So we are corrected. People call us to counsel us and correct us, and then we get offended. It is now that we are doing that thing, and it is not helping young people at all. Because you see, old people might have made some mistakes, and because of that, they will not want us to fall into those same mistakes. So when you are going wrong, especially in the church, don't get overly offended because your minister, a pastor, an elder's wife or a deacon or a deaconess has called you to correct you. Just take it in good faith. It might be very unpleasant, very hurting, but sit back and ask yourself, why is this person talking like this? These young people, we are not listening. Let us listen to old people. Let us not say they are archaic. The Bible can never change. It is what we are doing now that is changing and changing our own lifestyles. But the Bible and its principles, they stand the same, and it will continue to stand as long as we can even think. So let us give ourselves, let us have that teachable spirit where we are open to correction, Why am I talking like this? You know, I'm around a lot of you young ladies
Yeah,
are around me, and even some of the young men, some of the young men, some of the young ladies, maybe because of something that might have happened before, someone will call you, tell you, no, I think that if you should do it this way, it might help. It doesn't mean that that person hates you, for which reason that person is correcting you.
Yeah.
No, it might be because the person has seen something that you are not seeing while standing on your high heels. Do you understand?
On your high heels, so
Exactly. So let us be open to corrections. Yes, it helps. It will help us.
guys, I can't believe it's 7:35. I can't believe it. Oh, that's so interesting. You know, if we want to continue, we'll keep talking and talking till it's 8 o'clock, but I don't want us to do that.
Okay.
So I just want us to pause here.
Okay.
And then I want to say a very big thank you to my guest, Mama May, for being with us tonight. I hope we have learned a thing or two. Now, Bishop and Mommy have also been with us from the beginning till now. Bishop, we say a very big thank you for this opportunity. Mommy, thank you so much for being there for us. And to all my team, my technical team, the planning team, all of us, I say so big a thank you to all of you for being with us tonight. Now our next Zoom session for is September, right?
Yeah.
We will let you know the various dates. So just be on the lookout for the various sessions and the guests that we'll be having, so you don't miss out on any of the sessions. So tonight we want to call it a night. And then I once again want to say a big thank you to all of you. My team, are we through? Okay, so Mama May, my team just signaled me. They still want to hear final words from Mama May. After all that she had said, my team is still signaling me last words. So Mama May, you have the floor.
Okay. Finally, I want to say the fact that we have decided to follow God doesn't mean we will not face challenges. The fact that you have given your life to Christ doesn't mean that you get to a crossroad where you will not know what to do. But you see, to be able to find your purpose in life, there are three things you have to put on your mind. To be able to really hit it, or to know this is what I have to do and I'm going to be comfortable doing. Number one, let us develop that close relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. Let us know the Lord that, we go to church, but we don't know the God of the Bible. Let us make him a personal friend, where in times of challenge, you can talk to him like I'm talking to you, Felicia. You understand? So let us develop that relationship. And then aside that, let us endeavor to learn, to keep learning, to keep knowing him. You have accepted him, that is knowing him. Number two, you need to develop that relationship. What do I do? Read your Bible, pray, come to church, fellowship with people. Give your heart to it. Live for God. Live your life for God. Let someone see God inside you. Let God reflect God.
Oh, come on.
And then make up your mind that if you should die, you will die knowing the Lord. Knowing him, and you will die in him. So young people, hold on. The Lord is with us. Thank you.
Hold on, the Lord is with us.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and do have a good night.
All that I hold dear, my many satisfy me. Spirit, fall, open up heaven's door. We're waiting with worship for more. You're the only love that satisfies me. My constant request.